Guys, did you know my favorite hormone, testosterone, starts to decrease around the age of 30, and production continues to drop by about 1% a year? That's why our friends at Roman have formulated their own supplements with transparent and scientifically backed ingredients to support testosterone production. Roman's testosterone supplement is for anyone who wants to support their own body's natural function. Getting started is simple. Just go to getroman.com/Chael. You're going to get $15 off your first order, and you're going to get free 2-day shipping. Guys, that's getroman.com/Chael. Dana White paid for my honeymoon and has no idea that he did it. So here's what happened. My wife, the very first date we had, which was, I met her one night, I took her out the next. I told her that night, I am going to marry you. And she actually said, that's a little bit weird. But that's not the point. The point is, I knew right away. So some point in our relationship, and we've been together for a period of time, a couple of years, we are going to go to Brazil to do a press conference for Chael versus Anderson, part 2. And the fight was supposed to take place in Brazil. And something had happened where, with the Olympics coming up and the mess, and just Brazil just couldn't host the fight. And Brazil, as much as they would love to host it, and the economic value, and their country loves it, and they were honored the UFC was coming, all these different things, they're like, hey, we can't do this. You got to go somewhere else. It's too big of a deal, and we are working on infrastructure for the Olympic Games. There was some kind of like a G7 summit coming at the same weekend or a week apart. They didn't have the hotel. They just go, look, you got to get us out of this thing. Thank you so much, and please come back, but we can't do this. Okay. But Dana still wanted to go to the press conference to announce to the media that we are no longer doing the show here. Now, you could do that with a phone call, but he thought, look, everything's already organized. Everybody's already here. In addition, I'm not the one that wasn't able to pull this off. I've been asked by the government. I need to show them a respect to go and do it in Vegas instead. But we're going to fly out there. We're going to do the press conference, even though the press conference is to announce that we're not going to do the fight. Great. So Dana doesn't give me very many details. He just says, okay, we're going to go from Atlanta. Rashad was main eventing against John Jones. He goes, we're going to go from Atlanta to Brazil. Send me your passport. My people will take care of everything. And I go, okay, Dan, one question. Can my girlfriend come? He goes, absolutely. Boom. So I tell her she's in. Well, I don't know what it means. I don't know any more than this means than what I just told you guys. Here's what this looks like. We get this wonderful trip in Atlanta. And by the way, I really wanted to see Rashad and Jones. So we get to see this special thing. Dana, then, we leave after the show and after the press conference, and with the time shift, we leave that arena at like 1 a.m. We go right to the airport where his plane is waiting. Now, I don't have any experience on a private plane, okay? I don't have any idea what this means. You could get on this private plane. He's got a waitress. I don't mean a gal that comes around and says, hey, do you want steak or chicken? She comes around and says, what would you like to eat? End of question. What are my options? And she's like, I got a full kitchen. What would you like to eat? Can I get a pasta? She goes in, she gets the pans out, she boils the water, makes the noodles, makes the... I mean, it was a full thing. I didn't know that this is what it was like on a private plane. Then he's got a section of the plane that was like going into a convenience store. It looked exactly like the shelves at 7-Eleven. You name a potato chip, it was there. You name a candy, it was there. You name a soft drink, it was there. It was literally like being in a convenience store. So then all of the chairs, now it's 2 a.m, and we're going to head to Florida. And he springs on us at the last minute. Yeah, we don't need to be in Brazil for 3 days. So we're going to go vacation for a bit. Okay, very cool. So we fly into Key West. Car's waiting straight to the hotel. Gets us this huge suite. It's just me and Brittany. We've got like a 3-bedroom suite with a full kitchen. It's got a patio that overlooks the Key West beach. 30-some floors up. I mean, this is just incredible. So we get there, and about 3 hours later, so it's time to go to bed. I don't know what time, 3, 4, 5 in the morning. I don't know what time it is. It's time to go to sleep, and my phone rings like 2 hours later. He's already up, wide awake, and says, hey, come meet me at the elevators. I act like I'm awake. I'm not. I throw all my clothes on. I run down to the elevators, and he only says one thing. He reaches in his pocket, and he says, hey, take your girl out. Take her shopping. And he hands me a knot. I don't know how much is in here, but I never held that much money in my hand. I can tell you that much. And I said, and he told me, take her shopping. I don't know what that means. So I said, okay, I'll bring you the change. And he goes, keep it. Take her have a good time. So I go up to the room, and I'm counting out this money, man. There was $4,000 in $100 bills. Now, you have to understand, in this business that I'm in, if you want to have $4,000, you have to make 10. By the time you pay your managers, your trainers, Uncle Sugar and the government, you want to have $4,000, you had to have made 10. I'm not making 10 grand at that time in my career. I will once that fight happens. That fight hasn't happened. Okay, I got the clothes on my back. I got just enough clothes to get through this trip, and my wife's not in a different spot. So we got $4,000. Never had more money in my whole life. And I tell her what's up. I said, hey, I don't think we can just save this. He said specifically to take you shopping. We're going to see him tonight. You got to have some new clothes. Like, I was given an instruction. I had the right girl, man. We hit the street, and I will tell you, there is some great shopping in Florida. Stores I've never heard of. Like, I'm out here in Portland. If you want to have a really good day of shopping, you go to Nordstrom's. You might a JCPenney or a Meyer and Frank if you guys have even heard of that, but that's what it is in Oregon. And all of these were ma and pa. All of these were one-offs. If you want what's in that store, you got to be there. So we just have a great day. I get her this jacket that I've never even seen before. Never seen anybody wear. It's like woven, and it was cool. This leather jacket was like $500. She's not getting a $500 coat, not from old Chael. Never is that going to happen. Well, she got it that day, and we just had a great time. So he calls me later and says, hey, we're doing dinner. Be in the lobby at such and such time. Okay. Be in the lobby. We go out to dinner. And when we sit down, it's not just us. It's us and him. He's got LA. He's got his security guard with him, Kea at the time. And he only tells us one instruction. He says, hey, get whatever you want. It's on me. Well, I mean, there's steaks on this menu. I didn't know you could pay $300 for a steak. I didn't know like that was a thing, that a restaurant like this existed. So, you're trying to do the best you can and not be a dick when a guy's picking up the tab. So, it's time to order a drink. You order a water. My wife orders a water. I mean, you're trying to show some level of etiquette. At the same time, if you want to eat and the cheapest thing isn't very cheap, you got to get something. So the whole table, we just got these big meals coming. It's his turn to order. And he goes, I want some potatoes. All I want is potatoes. So three different kinds of potatoes. He got like these big wedge potatoes. Then he got a basket of fries. Then he got a baked potato. 3 things of potatoes. I mean, his meal must have cost $15 all in, right? We're eating hundreds of dollars of steaks, just doing the best we can. So when we get to the end of the night, he decides, okay, instead of going home, there's a casino. Let's go over to the casino. Well, my wife's a pretty early to bed gal. So the only way she's going to make it through this trip is if she has some coffee. So we order a coffee to go. And the waiter comes over. And quite frankly, the waiter was never really nice to us that entire evening. He was not impressed. It was not a fight fan. It'd be fair to say. And I don't mean to say that arrogantly, like some guy needed to be nice to us, but he wasn't only not all that nice. He was kind of the other way. Like maybe he was having a little bit of a bad day. And you could sense it. But when my wife ordered the coffee to go, he says, we don't do to go. And Dana had just paid the bill. And so he's holding up the black case that the bill comes in. He's holding it up. And he says to the guy, get her a coffee to go. And the guy looks at Dana and says, we don't do to go. And Dana kind of handed him the bill, get her a coffee to go. And the guy again said, we don't have them to go. So the guy grabs it and leaves. And Dana says, when he sees his tip, you'll be getting a coffee to go. And I've never known, and I don't know to this day, what he tipped that guy. I don't know. But I can tell you, the guy was telling the truth. They did not have cups of coffee to go. And I know that because he put 2 pots of coffee into 2 huge soup, like a to-go soup. Pounds of coffee, 2 of them. And a third one that was nothing but cream. So we got the coffee to go. And this was just the beginning. We're still not even to the job, which is to go to a press conference in Brazil. So we touch down in Panama, we refuel, we get all the way to Brazil. The second we get off the plane, we have a 7-man security team. And you could tell by looking at these guys, these were rough guys. These were special agents. These were ex-ops for sure. They're armed. They got the scars on the face. They're in street clothes. And we're with a real security team. We go right from there to a waiting helicopter. I've never been in a helicopter. You guys ever been in a helicopter? When are you ever going to be in a helicopter? Fly through the traffic of the city, land essentially at the hotel, which is where the press conference is, and then put everything I just told you in reverse to get home. I said to my wife, baby, just so you know, this is our honeymoon. There is nothing in this life that I'm going to give you that's going to top this experience. So I know everything's out of order, and I realize I didn't pay for a damn thing. But I need you to remember this moment. This is the honeymoon.